Groups. Tuckman says that groups form in 4 stages. They nicely rhyme to help you, so it's forming, storming, norming and performing. First stage, forming, we come together as a new team. We identify the roles, people are working each other out, and then that leads to the next stage fairly quickly, storming. So there's conflict because certain people want the same roles. They want the starting positions, they might want the captaincy or whatever it might be in terms of that team. So we get a bit of fighting and conflict. The leader needs to take care that is healthy competition, and it doesn't go overboard there. Eventually we'll get to normal where those roles kind of get decided, and then eventually after that we get performing, where hopefully you've got even the role players, the substitutes and people are all pulling together as one. They're all trying to ensure team success. 2 types of cohesion, task and social. Task cohesion is how well we work together on the pitch, if you like, when we're actually performing, and social cohesion is how much we like each other, so kind of off the pitch. So do we socialise together, eat together, are we friends? Obviously both would be good. You'd want both in an ideal world as a coach, but task cohesion is seen as more important. So even if we don't get on socially, we can still be professional enough to get on the pitch and help each other there. Karen's model tells us that there are 4 antecedents of cohesion. So these are, from the top, environmental factors. Alright, so what's the environment like? Do we have people under contract? Do we have good facilities and kit and all that sort of stuff? Changing rooms, good for the players. Personal factors like motivation and the different personalities. Have we got a good mix of personalities? Do people have similar motivations? Leadership factors is another. So does the leader's style suit the players? Alright. Is there good communication between the leader and the players? And the last one is team factors. So does the team have good ability? Do we have good fitness levels? Do we have the same desire for success? Is the team stable in terms of keeping the same players and things like that? That can all affect cohesion, and that affects our outcome as a team, and also our outcome as individuals. So individuals will be satisfied, for example in a highly cohesive team, they'll be satisfied to be part of that team, they'll enjoy it and they'll want to remain part of that team. So how do we develop group cohesion as a coach? Set team goals, like we just talked about with the SMARTER principle. A for agreed goals. Make sure that they are shared. Make sure that everyone knows what those goals are. Have roles within the team, so give individuals roles within their team, and that includes the substitutes. That might be even more important to identify their role within the team. Regular communication and meetings. An identity could be as things like having a team kit or a way that we go about things so that I feel part of that team. Have pride in subunits, so for example defenders having pride in not conceding goals. Alright, but what you don't want is them blaming the attackers and the attackers blaming the defenders. So we don't want cliques. Empower the players, so give them responsibility, get them setting their own goals. Alright, give them responsibility for leading their own team. And social cohesion, so get them getting on well off the pitch, eating together, alright, encouraging them to socialise outside of the team. Steiner's model of groups says that looks at group productivity, so how well do teams perform. So this looks at actual productivity is how well they actually perform as a team. That equals potential productivity, so this is how well we are capable of performing, minus these losses. Alright, so faulty processes, things that go wrong. Those losses can be one of 2 things normally. It can be coordination losses, so how things going wrong in terms of teamwork. Interactive sports like basketball, football, things like that are more likely to suffer coordination losses. So this can be in the timings of movements, or the movement patterns aren't quite right. Ball arrives, player arrives slightly too late, things like that, and we give the ball away. More coactive sports, which are basically individual sports within a team sport, like cricket or relays. So I go out and do my bit individually, and there's a little bit of interaction only. So there's less coordination losses occur in those types of sports. So basically, in things like relays and cricket, if you have the best players, you have a better chance of winning. Whereas in basketball and things like that are more interactive, there's more chance of a good team beating a team of individual players. The second thing is motivation losses. This is sometimes called social loafing. Social loafing is the fact that you rely on others to do your work for you. You hide, you coast through the game, you do the bare minimum to get through, so it doesn't get noticed, but you're not trying your absolute hardest. The Ringelmann study looked at tug of war, and what they found is that with the bigger the group, the larger the group, the more likely it was that people didn't try their best. Okay, so this obviously has implications for large team sports like rugby. Alright, where it's basically what we're saying is it's easier to hide. So how do we reduce social loafing if we're the coach? Well, punish the loafers, take them off, don't pick them next time, whatever you're going to do. Reinforce the hard working players. So don't just reinforce players who play well, reinforce the players who really try their best. Make sure the players encourage each other, so get your captain to lead that. Make sure there's good positive encouragement out there. Monitor individual performance is really important. So the study about the swimming relay team, where their split times were put up on the boards, they had a faster team time across the season. So this tells us that if players or performers know they are being monitored, that they will try harder. Alright, so by video, by statistical analysis, person sat up in the crowd, analysing people, or even just telling them that you're watching them and see how hard they're trying to do. Setting process goals. Okay, so set process goals as to things that I need to do. It might be that I need to get in 3 forward runs into the box in the last 10 minutes of a match. Identify when you're likely to loaf. Now this is going to be things that are obvious, like towards the end of a match when I'm tired. Alright, but make sure that we know that, and that we've got a plan to deal with it and how we're going to do it. And one of those plans might be to improve your fitness. Okay, so if it is the fact that I'm getting fatigued, then I might need to get fitter.